Magandang araw mga bata! Ako si Ma'am Regine, ang teacher mo sa math. Today we will be learning about constructing polygons and solving problems involving them. This is a lesson for Grade 7 Mathematics under Quarter 3, Lesson 8. Kaya tara na, and let's do the math. Ang polygon ay na-discuss na natin sa ating video for Lesson 5 about polygons. I recommend that you watch that video first para mas maintindihan natin ang ganap ang polygon. Kasama dito sa Lesson 5 ang basics ng polygon, its parts, and its classification. Matapos yung panoorin ang ating video number 5 about polygons, it is also highly recommended that you watch video 6 for quarter 3 about the interior and exterior angles of a convex polygon. Dahil kasama ang mga ito sa ating sample exercises for this video. A polygon is a closed plane figure formed by lined segments. It comes from two words poly, which means many, and gon, which means angle. And polygons may be classified by its number of sides. Isa sa mga classification natin ng polygon kapag siya ay may number of sides na 3, ang triangle. And speaking of triangles, a slice of pizza resembles a triangle, and there are a lot of real objects that are very similar to a triangle. A triangle can be classified according to its angles and sides. First, let's focus on the classification of a triangle according to its angles. Tulad ng nabanggit natin sa ating Lesson 5 about parts of a polygon, kung ilan ang dami ng sides ng isang polygon, ganun din ang dami ng kanyang angles and vertices. We have 4. Una ay right triangle, acute triangle, we also have obtuse triangle, and equiangular triangle. Itong apat na ito ay tumutukoy lamang sa angles of a triangle. So kung mapapansin natin, familiar tayo sa mga terms na ito. Because these are also classifications of angles. We have right angle, acute angle, and obtuse angle. Kaunting review tayo about the classification of angles. Kapag right angle, this is an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees. Ang acute angle naman, these are angles that measures less than 90 degrees. And then obtuse, it measures more than 90 degrees. Applying these classification of angles into a triangle, mag-focus muna tayo sa right triangle. It's a triangle with a right angle. Ito ang example natin for a right triangle. We have A, B, and C. This is triangle ABC. Meron siyang isang right angle. Itong angle B natin ay, ang sukat niya ay 90 degrees because this is a right angle. And the other two angles are acute angles. Yung isa natin, 30 degrees yung sukat, yung angle A, at yung angle C naman ay 60 degrees. To sum up, ang isang right triangle ay merong tatlong angles. It has one right angle, itong angle B, and then the other two are acute angles, angles A and C. Punta naman tayo sa pangalawang triangle natin. We have the acute triangle. Acute triangle, it is a triangle whose angles are all acute. This is an example of an acute triangle. This is triangle DEF. Meron siyang tatlong angles. And each of the angles are acute. Yung una nating angle, angle D, 47 degrees. Angle E, 63 degrees. At ang angle FI, 70 degrees. All of them are acute angles. To sum up, para sa ating acute triangle, lahat ng kanyang mga angles ay acute, meaning ang measurement nila ay less than 90 degrees. Mapunta naman tayo sa third classification of a triangle. We have the obtuse triangle. It's a triangle with an obtuse angle. Ito ang example natin for an obtuse triangle. This is triangle GHI. Angle I, ito yung ating obtuse angle, 110 degrees yung kanyang sukat, more than 90 degrees. And then the other two angles are acute. Angle H ay 40 degrees at ang angle G ay 30 degrees. So to sum up, for an obtuse triangle, meron siyang isang obtuse angle at yung dalawa ay acute. Lastly, we have the Equiangular Triangle. It's a triangle whose angles are all congruent. When we say congruent, the measurements are the same. And equiangular, from the word itself, equi is pertaining to equal and then angular for angle. So equal angles or equal measurement of angles. This is an example of an equiangular triangle. This is triangle JKL. At ang kanyang mga angles, ang sukat nito ay pare-parehong 60 degrees. Tulad ng ating na-discuss sa ating lesson 6 about the interior angles of a polygon, the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. Kaya naman, kung ating i-add lahat ng mga angles sa kada triangle na ito, ang magiging result natin ay always 180 degrees. So, ito ay right angle, kaya 90 ito. 90 plus 30 plus 60 ay 180. Ganon din ang 63 plus 47 plus 70, 180 din yan. Ganon din naman ang 40, 110 at 30. At tatlong 60 times 3 ay 180 degrees. So regardless, kahit ano pa man siyang classification ng triangle depending to its angle, if we sum up all the angles of a triangle, it will always sum up to 180 degrees. Next, we have the classification of a triangle according to its sides. We have three. Una ay Scalene Triangle. We also have the Isosceles Triangle and the Equilateral Triangle. A scalene triangle is a triangle with no equal sides. This is an example of a scalene triangle. This is triangle GHI. Ang kanyang tatlong side ay side GH, HI, and then IG. Ang side GH natin, sukat niya ay 8 centimeters. Ang side HI naman, ang sukat ay 4 cm at ang side GI na may sukat na 5 cm. Kung mapapansin natin, iba-iba yung kanyang sukat, hindi pare-pareho, hindi equal. At kung mapapansin natin mga bata, ito rin yung same triangle na ginamit natin kanina for the obtuse triangle. However, this time, ang focus natin ay yung kanyang side. Another classification of a triangle is the Isosceles Triangle. It's a triangle with two equal sides. Ito ang example natin ng Isosceles Triangle. This is triangle MNO. For an isosceles triangle, usually may makikita kayong lines pertaining that these sides are the ones that are congruent. Sila yung may pantay na sukat. Itong side MO at saka side MN. Ito namang NO ay hindi nila kapareho ng sukat. Ibang sukat ito. Kung titignan natin ang sukat nila, side MN and side MO, they are congruent. Both of them are 6 centimeters. While yung side NO, 4 centimeters yung sukat niya. Last, we have the Equilateral Triangle. It's a triangle with all equal sides. Equilateral, from the word itself, equi pertaining to equal, and then lateral, it pertains to sides. So therefore, equal sides. This is an example of the Equilateral Triangle. This is triangle JKL. Meron din siyang tatlong sides, JK, JL, at saka KL. Dahil equilateral triangle ito, meaning yung kanyang tatlong sides ay dapat meron siyang pantay-pantay at parehong mga sukat, congruent sila. Kaya ipinapakita ito ng ating symbol for congruence. Lahat ng mga side na ito, ang sukat ay 6 centimeters. At kung mapapansin natin mga bata, this is also the same triangle that we used when we demonstrated the equiangular triangle. Equilateral dahil yung mga sides niya yung ating focus this time, yung sukat ng sides niya ay equal. Kapag equiangular naman yung sukat ng mga angles. But basically, we're using the same triangle. When discussing about triangles, we have to talk about the triangle inequality theorem. It states that the sum of any two sides of a triangle must be greater than the measure of the third side. In symbol, S1 plus S2 is greater than S3. S1 pertaining to side 1 added to S2 side 2 and S3i side 3. I-apply natin itong triangle inequality theorem sa ating tatlong triangles na nandito. Magsimula tayo dito sa scalene. Ang kanyang mga sides ay may sukat na 8, 5, and 4 cm. 8 plus 5 is greater than 4. Ito yung 8, ito yung 5. Pag inad natin silang dalawa, dapat greater than 4. 8 plus 5 is equal to 13. 13 is greater than 4. Kaya correct ito. Next, 5 plus 4 is greater than 8. Ito naman yung dalawang side yung i-add natin together. 5 plus 4 is equal to 9 and 9 is greater than 8. So, tama rin ito. Next, 4 plus 8, silang dalawa naman yung i-add natin. 4 plus 8 is greater than 5. 4 plus 8 is equal to 12 and 12 is truly greater than 5. For the isosceles triangle, we have 6 plus 6 is greater than 4. Itong dalawa nating congruent na sides, added together, mas malaki siya sa 4. 6 plus 6 is equal to 12, and it is truly greater than 4. We also have 6 plus 4 is greater than 6. 6 plus 4 is 10, greater than 6. Since dalawa yung 6 natin, pwede na to. Next, for the equilateral triangle, 6 plus 6 is greater than 6. 6 plus 6 is equal to 12, and 12 is greater than 6. Kaya naman, itong mga sides na ito ay talagang makakabuo ng isang triangle. Pero ano kayang mangyayari kung ang ating mga given sides ay hindi umakma dito sa ating triangle inequality theorem? Let's have an activity. Who among the following can make a triangle? A. Maria with sticks that measure 1 cm, 2 cm, and 3 cm each. B. Marcus with sticks that measure a piece of 7 cm and 2 pieces of 3 cm sticks. Or C. Cassiopeia with 3 pieces of sticks that measure 3 cm each. So, meron tayo dito ng tatlong bata. Sino sa kanila ang makakabuo ng triangle at sino ang mga hindi makakabuo ng triangle using the sticks that they have? First, we have Maria. So, for Maria, meron siyang tatlong sticks ng sukat ay 1, 2, and 3 cm. Ito yung mga sticks ni Maria. We have 1, 2, and 3 cm sticks. Following the triangle inequality theorem, let's test kung talagang makakabuo nga ba ng triangle o hindi. 3 plus 1 is greater than 2. Inuna natin i-add together yung 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. 4 is definitely greater than 2. So, correct. Next, 2 plus 3 is greater than 1. So, ito naman dalawa yung in-add natin together. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. And 5 is greater than 1. So, tama pa rin ito. Next, 1 plus 2 is greater than 3. Ito naman dalawa yung in-add natin together. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. And 3 is not greater than 3. Dahil 3 is equal to 3. Therefore, hindi natin na-suffice yung ating triangle inequality theorem. Dapat kasi for a triangle inequality theorem, regardless kung anong sides naman ito, any two sides, pag inad natin sila together, laging yung kanyang result ay greater than doon sa natira nating side. In this case, kay Maria, yung sticks niya, although tama yung dalawa, yung isa naman ay equal. Ito yung mga sticks ni Maria. We have the 1 cm stick, ito naman yung 2 cm, at ito yung kanyang 3 cm stick. Kung mapapansin natin, pag inassemble natin siya, pinagdikit-dikit, may kulang na espasyo, may kulang na sukat. Hindi natin siya maisasara. Tandaan na ang polygon, ito dapat ay closed plane figure. Ito ay hindi polygon dahil may opening siya. This is not a polygon and this is also not a triangle. But what will happen kung ipipilit nating ibaba itong 2 cm itikit dito sa 1 cm? Can we make a triangle? Kung ito yung ating 3 cm stick, ito naman yung ating 2 cm stick, at ito yung ating 1 cm stick. We're unable to make a triangle out of the sticks dahil ang mabubuo lamang natin ay straight line kasi equal. So, Maria cannot make a triangle. Try natin si Marcus. Marcus has 3 sticks. Meron siyang 7 centimeters na stick. Meron din siyang 3 centimeters na dalawang piraso. Try natin yung ating triangle inequality theorem sa sticks ni Marcus. 7 plus 3 is greater than 3. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10 and 10 is greater than 3. So, tama yon. Next, we have 3 plus 3 is greater than 7. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. And 6 is not greater than 7. 6 is actually less than 7. Kaya according to the triangle inequality theorem, si Marcus ay hindi rin daw makakabuo ng triangle. Trying it out, ito yung 7 cm na stick ni Marcus. At ito naman yung kanyang sticks na 3 cm each. Mapapansin natin na may opening. Hindi natin siya kayang i-close dahil kulang yung sukat ng mga sticks. Kaya naman si Marcus is also unable to make a triangle. Let's try Cassiopeia sticks. Si Cassiopeia ay may 3 piraso ng stick na ang sukat ay pare-parehong 3 centimeters. Trying out the inequality theorem, since pare-pareho lang naman na 3 yung sukat, 3 plus 3 is greater than 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 is greater than 3. Kahit balik-balik na rin natin yung sukat ng mga ito, since pareho lang, ito pa rin naman. Trying it out, ito yung mga sticks ni Cassiopeia, lahat ay 3 centimeters. At kung mapapansin natin, we're able to form a triangle. Close ito, ibig sabihin, this is a polygon with 3 sides, kaya ito ay triangle. And this is actually an example of an equilateral triangle, meaning all the measures of the sides are equal. Kaya naman, among the 3 of them, Maria, Marcus, and Cassiopeia, Cassiopeia is the one who is able to make a triangle out of the sticks that she has. How do we construct a triangle? Let's have an activity. Construct a triangle ABC such that line AB is 3 centimeters, line BC is 5 centimeter, and line AC is equal to 4 centimeter. Step 1. Draw line BC of 5 centimeter using a ruler. So, maglabas tayo ng ruler. Ruler ay isang tool natin for geometric construction. Itapat natin sa 0 at sa 5 dahil 5 cm yung kailangan natin. Lagay tayo ng point as marker. Tanggalin natin yung ruler. Itong una nating point ay label natin as point B at yung pangalawang point ay label natin as point C. And then connect them. Ito na yung ating line BC or specifically this is a line segment BC na ang sukat ay 5 cm. Step 2. With B as the center and radius of 3 cm, ito yung ating given. Line AB must be equal to 3 cm. Draw an arc using a compass. Compass ay tool for construction din natin ito ng geometric figures. We have discussed this ating lesson 4 for quarter 3, geometric constructions. Ito yung nagawa natin from step 1. Kuha tayo ng ruler at yung ating compass, iset natin siya na yung kanyang wide ay dapat 3 cm. Tutok natin yung pointy tip sa 0 at yung tip na may pencil ay dapat na nakatapat sa 3. Dapat 3 cm wide. Gamitin natin yung compass na ito dito. Yung pointy tip ay dapat na nandito sa B dahil B ay yung ating gagamiting center. 3 cm yung sukat niya. And then, draw an arc. Step 3, with C as the center and radius of 4 cm from the given line AC should be equal to 4 cm, draw an arc using a compass. Ito yung ating last construction from step 2. Kuha ulit tayo ng ruler. Yung compass natin, yung width niya, yung kanyang wide ay dapat na 4 cm naman yung sukat natin. Yung compass na yun na sinukat natin na ang width ay 4 cm, yung pointy tip ay tapat natin sa C dahil C yung gagamitin natin as the center, and draw an arc. After natin mag-drawing ng arc, yung point of intersection ng 2 arcs natin, label natin as point A. For step 4, draw the line segment AB and AC using a ruler to get triangle ABC. Ito yung ating last construction for step 3. Gawa tayo ng ruler. I-connect muna natin yung points A and C. AC, ang sukat niya dapat ay 4 cm. So, mag-drawing tayo ng 4 cm na line dito, connecting A and C together. Ang sukat ng ating AC ay 4 cm. Let's then connect points A and B together. Kuha ulit tayo ng ruler. Ang sukat dapat ay 3 cm. Dahil ang sukat ng ating segment AB ay 3 cm. Ito na yung ating triangle ABC following this measurement for its sides. Another classification of polygon depending on its side. If a polygon has 4 sides, it is known as a quadrilateral. And this is a real object referring to a quadrilateral. Meron siyang 4 sides. The stable surface has 4 sides. So, quadrilateral ito. And a quadrilateral has different kinds. This is the quadrilateral family. A quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides. Aside from having 4 sides, ang quadrilateral meron din siyang 4 angles and 4 vertices. Magbalik tayo dito sa ating quadrilateral family. This is how a quadrilateral looks like. It's a polygon with 4 sides. Quadrilaterals can be classified majorly into 3. We have the parallelogram, trapezoid, and trapezium. Let's focus first on a parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. And this is how a parallelogram looks like. Meron siyang 2 pairs ng opposite sides na parallel. Ito yung first pair, parallel sila, at ito naman yung second pair. Parallel din sila. 2 pairs of parallel, opposite sides. Next, we also have trapezoid. A trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only 1 pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Going back dito sa ating quadrilateral family, this is how a trapezoid looks like. And the trapezoid only has 1 pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Ito lang yun. Itong side na ito at itong side din na ito. Kasi itong side niya na magkabilaan, if we extend these, at one point, mag-intersect sila. Hindi sila parallel lines. So, ang trapezoid, meron siyang isang pair ng opposite sides na parallel at yung kabila naman ay intersecting lines. And the third classification of quadrilateral is the trapezium. A trapezium is a quadrilateral with no pair of opposite sides that are parallel. And this is how a trapezium looks like. Yung kanyang mga sides are not parallel at all. So, comparing all these 3 together, ang parallelogram ay may 2 pairs ng opposite sides na parallel, at ang trapezoid ay may 1 pair ng opposite side na parallel, while trapezium has none. Out of these 3, ang parallelogram, it can be further classified into 2. We have rhombus and rectangle. A rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides. Rhombus in plural form, rhombi. And this is how a rhombus looks like. Lahat ng mga side ng rhombus ay congruent, meaning kung ano ang sukat ng isang side, ganun din yung sukat ng 3 pang natitira. While a rectangle, on the other hand, it's a parallelogram with 4 congruent angles, and each interior angle measures 90 degrees. So, kung ang rhombus, ang kanyang congruent na part ay yung sides niya, say for example, 5 cm ang isang side, the rest ay 5 cm din. Whereas ang rectangle, this is how rectangle looks like, yung kanyang 4 na angle ay congruent. Meaning, lahat ng mga angle na ito ay pare-pareho ang sukat. And all these four are pertaining to right angles. Ang rectangle ay merong 4 na right angles. Adding all them together, we have 360 degrees, which is the sum of the measure of the interior angles of a quadrilateral. When a rhombus and a rectangle is combined together, we're able to form a square. A square is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides and 4 congruent angles. So combining rhombus and rectangle together, we're able to form a square, and this is how a square looks like. Ang square ay tulad ng rhombus na ang mga side niya ay pantay-pantay ang sukat. Kung 5 cm ang sukat ng isang side, the rest na mga side ng square ay 5 cm din. And also, just like a rectangle, kung ano ang sukat ng isang angle, ganun din ang sukat ng iba. And the square also has 4 congruent angles, which are all right angles. All these 3 are types of parallelograms. On the other hand, ang trapezoid ay meron ding isa pang form, which is the isosceles trapezoid. An isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid whose non-parallel sides are congruent. And this is how an isosceles trapezoid looks like. Ito yung kanyang side na parallel. At ito naman yung kanyang opposite side na non-parallel. Meaning, at one point, kapag in-extend sila, mag-i-intersect sila. At ang sukat nitong dalawang side na ito, nung isosceles trapezoid, yung non-parallel niya, yung kanyang part na intersecting line ay congruent. Say for example, ito ay 4 cm, yung kabila ay 4 cm din. And this is the quadrilateral family, the classification of a quadrilateral. Constructing a square. A square is one of the classifications of a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. Let's have an activity. Construct a square having 4 cm as the length of each side. Step 1. Draw line segment AB of length 4 cm and extend it to the right. Kuha tayo ng ruler. Maglagay tayo ng point sa tapat ng 0 as a marker. At isa pang point sa tapat ng 4 dahil kailangan natin ay 4 cm. Yung ating first point ay label natin as point A, and then the second one, label it as point B. And then connect them together, connect points A and B together, and then extend it to the right. Yung ating points A and B, when we connect these 2 points together, yung sukat nito ay 4 cm. Step 2, draw an arc on each side of B using any compass width and then label these as points M and N. Ito yung ating last construction from step 1. Kuha tayo ng compass. Yung width nitong ating compass ay hindi naman binanggit specifically kung ano yung sukat. However, I would recommend na yung width niya ay less than 4 cm but somehow greater than 3 cm. Katulad ng ganitong set ko. And then, draw an arc. Ganun din yung gawin natin sa kabila, yung pointy tip ay nasa B pa rin. Kung ano yung sukat nung ating compass kanina, yun din yung gamitin nating sukat dito. Parehong sukat dapat. Huwag na nating i-adjust. Then, draw an arc. Yung una nating arc, label it as M, and then yung pangalawa ay N. Step 3, with the compass on N and any width, draw an arc above B. Ito yung ating last construction from step 2. Kuha ulit tayo ng compass. Yung ating tip ay nandoon sa arc N, yung pointy tip natin. Yung width nitong ating compass ay hindi ulit binanggit specifically kung ano, but I would recommend that you set it to a width which is greater than 4 cm. And then, draw an arc. Step 4, without changing the width, draw an arc using point M and name it as point O. Ito na yung ating last construction from step 3. Kuha ulit tayo ng compass. Kung ano yung sukat ng compass natin dito, ganun din yung gamitin natin sukat ng compass dito. Huwag nating baguhin. I would recommend that the width must be greater than 4 cm. And then, draw an arc. Yung point of intersection nila ay lagyan natin ng point and label it as O. Step 5, draw a line perpendicular from B to O. Ito yung ating last construction from step 4. From point B, gagawa tayo ng line perpendicular to point O. Next, for step 6, set the compass on A and set its width to the length of AB, which is 4 cm. Ito yung ating last construction from step 5. Kuha tayo ng compass, isa-set natin yung width niya, dapat 4 cm. Pwede tayong gumamit ng ruler, 4 cm, or itapat natin siya sa A to B, which is sinukat natin from step 1 kanina na dapat ay 4 cm. Step 7, using point A, make an arc above A, and using point B, make an arc above B. Then label it as C. Ito yung ating last construction from step 5. At kukuha tayo ng compass na ang width ay 4 cm as instructed sa ating step 6. Yung pointed tip ng ating compass ay nakatapat sa A, using point A, and then draw an arc. Next, lagay naman natin yung ating compass. Same width, huwag nyo nang baguhin, 4 cm. Itapat naman natin yung pointed tip dito sa B and then draw another arc. Then, lagyan natin ng isang point yung point of intersection nitong arc na ito dito sa ating B and label it as point C. Step 8, move the compass to C and make an arc on the left of C, then label it D. Ito yung ating last construction from step 7. Kuha tayo ng compass. 4 cm pa din ang sukat nito from step 6 and 7. Hindi natin babaguhin. Yung pointed tip ng ating compass ay nandito sa C. And then, draw an arc. Yung point of intersection ay label natin as point D. For step 9, connect points C and D and points D and A together. Ito na yung ating last construction from step 8. Connect muna natin yung points C and D. At ganun din naman ang points A and D. Ito na yung ating square ABCD na ang sukat kada side ay 4 cm. Another classification of polygon according to its number of sides, if it has 5 sides, we call it a pentagon. And this is how a pentagon looks like. Not the entire soccer ball, but its print. Ayan. Pentagon ito. 5 sides. And if a polygon has 6 sides, it is known as a hexagon. And this is how a hexagon looks like. It's a potato chip with 6 sides. Hexagon. How do we construct a pentagon? Let's have an activity. Construct a regular pentagon with 3 cm as the length of each side. Step 1, draw a line segment AB with length 3 cm. Kuha tayo ng ruler. Lagay tayo ng point sa tapat ng 0 at isa pang point sa tapat ng 3 dahil 3 cm yung kailangan nating sukat. Yung una nating point, label it as point A, and then the second one, label it as point B, then connect them together. Ang sukat nito ay 3 cm. For step 2, draw 108 degrees angles at A and B. Pero bakit nga ba 108 degrees ang angle ng ating pentagon? It is because if a pentagon is a regular polygon, it means that all its sides and angles must have equal measurement. Ang angle ng pentagon individually ay 108. Meron siyang 5 angle, 108 multiplied to 5. Ang sum of interior angles of a pentagon ay 540 degrees. We have discussed this sa ating lesson 6 about the interior and exterior angles of a convex polygon. Balik tayo dito sa ating step 2. Ito yung ating construction from step 1. Kuha tayo ng protractor. So, protractor, aside from a ruler or straight edge and a compass, a protractor is also one of the geometrical tools. A protractor is a tool to measure an angle. Itapat natin ang center ng ating protractor dito sa point A at hanapin natin ang 108 degrees. So, from this side, 0, ito yung 108 degrees niya. Hindi siya lalagpas ng 110 degrees. Then, draw a line. Ganun din yung gagawin natin sa kabila. Sa point B naman nakatapat yung ating center ng protractor. Dito naman. And then, hanapin natin yung ating 108 degrees. So, from this side, 0 up until 108 degrees. Hindi siya lalagpas ng 110. Draw a line as well. For step 3, make 3 centimeters on these sides and label E and C. Ito yung ating last construction from step 2. Kuha tayo ng ruler. At yung compass natin, dapat yung kanyang width ay 3 centimeters. Let's use this compass na ang width ay 3 cm. Yung pointy tip ay nasa A. Let's use this as its center para dito sa side na ito. Then draw an arc. Yung point of intersection ay label natin as point E. Gawin din natin ito sa kabilang side. Use the same measurement. Yung width dapat ay 3 cm. Yung pointy tip nasa B. Then draw an arc. Yung ating point of intersection ay point C. For step 4, draw 3 cm arcs using E and C as the centers and mark the point as D. Ito yung ating last construction from step 3. Kuha ulit tayo ng ating protractor. Yung width niya ay 3 cm pa din. Yung pointy tip natin ay nandito sa point E. Then draw an arc. Ganon din yung gagawin natin sa kabila. Yung pointy tip ng compass natin ay nasa point C naman. Same measurement ito, wag na natin baguhin, 3 cm. Then draw an arc. At yung point of intersection ng ating two arcs, label it as point D. Step 5, connect the points D and E and C and D together. Ito yung ating last construction kanina from step 4. Connect natin yung point D and E at yung point C and D. Ito na yung ating pentagon ABCDE na ang bawat side ay may sukat na 3 cm. After a pentagon, let's now construct a hexagon. Construct a regular hexagon with 3 cm as length of each side. Step 1, draw a line segment AB with length 3 cm. Kuha tayo ng ruler, maglagay tayo ng point sa 0 at isa pa sa 3. Una nating point, label it as point A, and then the second one, label it as point B, and then connect them together. Ito na yung ating line segment AB na ang sukat ay 3 cm. For step 2, draw 120 angles at A and B. Now, bakit naman 120 degrees yung angle natin for the hexagon? It is because, just like what we mentioned sa ating lesson 6, for the interior and exterior angles of a convex polygon, if a hexagon is a regular polygon having the same measurement for sides and angles, dapat yung kanyang interior angles individually ay 120. Adding all them together, 6 na angles, dahil 6 yung angle ng hexagon. 120 multiplied to 6, ang sum of the interior angles ng isang regular hexagon ay 720 degrees. Meaning, individually, yung sukat ng angle ng isang hexagon ay 120 degrees. And then the rest of the angles, yung 5 pang angles ay 120 degrees each din yung sukat. For step 2, ito yung ating last construction from step 1. Kuha ulit tayo ng protractor. Itapat natin yung ating center ng protractor sa point A at maglagay tayo ng line sa 120 degrees. From 0 to 120 degrees. Ganun din yung gawin natin sa point B. Nandun naman yung ating center. So, from 0 degrees, papunta naman sa 120 degrees. Draw a line to mark as well. Step 3, mark 3 centimeters on these sides and label F and C. Ito yung ating last construction from step 2. Kuha ulit tayo ng ruler. Yung compass natin, dapat ang sukat niya ay 3 centimeters. Gamitin natin yung compass na ito dito muna sa side ng A, wherein yung pointy tip ay nandito sa point A. Then draw an arc. Yung point of intersection ay label natin as point F. Ganon din yung gagawin natin sa kabilang side. Using the same width ng ating compass, 3 cm. Yung pointy tip ay nandito sa point B. Then draw an arc. Yung ating point of intersection, label it as point C. For step 4, mark 120 degrees angle at F. So from this last construction from step 3, Kuha tayo ng protractor. Yung ating center ng ating protractor ay dapat na nakatapat sa point F. So, from 0, hanapin natin yung 120 degrees and then draw a line. For step 5, draw 3 cm arc using F as the center and then mark the point as E. Ito yung ating last construction kanina from step 4. Kuha tayo ng ruler. Yung ating compass dapat ay 3 cm pa rin yung width. So, huwag na natin baguhin. Yung ating pointy tip ay ilagay natin dito sa point F. And then draw an arc. Yung point of intersection, label it as point E. For step 6, draw 3 cm arcs using E and C as the centers and then mark the point as D. Last construction natin from step 5. Kunin ulit natin yung compass ng sukat ay 3 cm pa rin yung width. Yung pointy tip natin ay ilagay natin sa E and then draw an arc. Ganon din yung gawin natin dito sa point C. Yung pointy tip ay nasa point C and then draw an arc. Same width, wag natin baguhin, 3 cm. Yung point of intersection natin of the two arcs, label it as point D. Now, for the last step, step 7, connect the points D and E and D and C together. Ito yung ating last construction from step 6. Connect natin yung point D and E. Ganon din naman yung point D and C. Ito na yung ating hexagon ABCDEF na ang sukat ng bawat side ay 3 centimeters. Now that we have learned the classifications of triangles and quadrilaterals, also we're able to construct triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagons, and hexagons. We will now proceed in solving word problems involving polygons. Notice that we will be using inductive reasoning for us to solve each problem. Example number 1, what is the measure of one exterior angle of a regular decagon? For this word problem, there are some of the keywords that we need to take note of. We have measure, meaning yung measurement, yung sukat yung ating hinahanap dito. Exterior angle at hindi interior angle. Regular polygon ito, meaning the sides angles must be equal. And decagon. Decagon is a kind of a polygon with 10 sides. So this is a decagon. It has 10 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If a decagon has 10 sides, therefore, its linear pair is also 10, and the sum of its exterior angles is equal to 360 degrees. This is a constant, 360 degrees. Lahat ng polygon, regardless of the number of sides, laging 360 degrees ang kanyang sum of exterior angles. Papakita ko lamang, following the formula, ito yung formula para makuha natin yung sum of exterior angles. Substituting n with 10. And if we perform the operation, 360 talaga. For activity number 1, ang hinahanap natin ay exterior angle. So this side, extend natin siya para makuha natin yung isang exterior angle. Alamin natin yung sukat nito. Dito sa ating word problem na ito, example number 1, isang exterior angle lamang yung hinahanap, hindi lahat. Ang meron tayo ay sum of the exterior angles. Therefore, ang 360 degrees ay sukat ng kabuuan o lahat ng mga exterior angles. Ang hinahanap ay sukat lang ng isa. So, what we will have to do for us to get the measure of one exterior angle is to divide 360 degrees by the number of sides of the polygon. So, this is a decagon with 10 sides, kaya divide natin siya by 10. 360 degrees divided by 10 is equal to 36 degrees. Therefore, for this regular polygon, which is a decagon, the measure of one of its exterior angle is 36 degrees. Yung kabuuan ng 10 ay 360, pero yung isang angle ay 36. Another example, number 2. Find the measure of one of the interior angles of a regular polygon with 5 sides. Measure ulit, interior angles, hindi na exterior, regular polygon with 5 sides. From this word problem, nakuha natin na yung polygon ay may 5 sides. A polygon with 5 sides is known as a pentagon. And this is how a pentagon looks like. Meron siyang 5 sides. Para malaman natin yung sukat ng isa sa mga interior angles nitong pentagon na ito, we have to know how many triangles can be formed out of this polygon. Following the formula n-2, wherein yung n ay substitute natin ng kanyang number of sides, magiging 5 minus 2, which is 3. Kaya itong pentagon na ito ay makakabuo daw ng tatlong triangles. Checking it by drawing a diagonal from one vertex, we're able to form 3 triangles. Some of the interior angles natin, para makuha naman natin, kailangan nating sundin yung ating formula, which is the difference of n-2 multiplied to 180 degrees, substituting n with 5, ito yung ating number of sides, 3 multiplied to 180 degrees is equal to 540 degrees. So, yung kabuuan ng mga angles nitong pentagon na to ay 540 degrees. So, lahat ng mga limang angles niya, ang sukat ay 540 altogether. Pero, for this example, ang kailangan natin sukat ay isa lang. Kaya what we'll have to do is to find the measure of one interior angle by dividing the sum of interior angles by the number of its sides or the number of angle. 540 degrees divided by 5 is equal to 108 degrees. Therefore, the measure of this one interior angle of a regular pentagon with 5 sides and 5 angles as well is 108 degrees. This is the most straightforward way on how we can solve this word problem. However, since interior and exterior angles have a relationship with one another in terms of its measurement, pwede rin natin isolve itong word problem na ito in another way. So if you have the number of sides, which is 5, we'll get the sum of the exterior angles, which is 360 degrees. Itong 360 degrees is constant to all the polygons, regardless of its number of sides. Kaya lagi siyang 360 degrees. Pakita ko lang yung computation following its formula, replacing n with 5. If we perform the operation, 360 talaga yung kanyang sum of exterior angles. So if we know that this polygon has 5 sides and it has 360 degrees as the sum of its exterior angle, pwede natin kunin yung measure of one exterior angle. 360 degrees divided by 5, itong 5 ay yung number of sides or also the number of angle. Divide lang natin sila together at ang ating sagot ay 72 degrees. Therefore, itong ating isang exterior angle dito ay 72 degrees yung sukat. We know that exterior and interior angles are always forming a linear pair. So if they form a linear pair, therefore, they are both supplemental and adjacent. Supplemental meaning, yung result nilang dalawa ng kanilang measurement is always equal to 180 degrees. So, knowing that relationship between interior and exterior angle, we can find the measure of one interior angle. 72 added to an unknown variable must be equal to 180 degrees. So, iwan natin dito yung x, yung unknown variable. Transpose natin yung 72 degrees dito sa right side kasama ng ating constant na 180 degrees. Naging minus 72 siya dahil 72 degrees here is positive. If we transpose it to the other side, magbabaliktad yung kanyang sign. So, from positive, maging negative siya. Performing the operation, x is equal to 108 degrees dahil 180 minus 72 is equal to 108. Therefore, itong ating interior angle ay 108 degrees. Last example natin, example number 3, find the measure of one exterior angle of a regular polygon whose sum of the interior angles is 720 degrees. From this word problem, isa-isahin ulit natin yung mga keywords. We have the term measure, so hanapin natin yung sukat ng isang exterior angle, hindi interior. Regular polygon, dapat pantay yung sukat niya, equal measure of sides and angle. And then the sum of the interior angle of this polygon is 720 degrees. Aside from that, hindi na nabanggit kung anong polygon ito. Since we don't know which specific polygon are we pertaining, ang meron lang tayo ay yung sum of interior angles niya na 720 degrees. Which polygon has a sum of interior angles which is 720 degrees? Let's use its formula, n-2, multiplied yung result niya to 180 degrees equal to 720. 720 dahil ang ating sum of interior angle ay 720 degrees. So, proceed tayo. Perform natin yung operation. 180 ay dinistribute natin sa n at sa negative 2 or minus 2. Kaya naging 180n, 180 multiplied to n, and then 180 multiplied to 2 ay 360. Kopyahin natin yung minus sign. Equal to 720. So, let's transpose itong minus 360. Transpose natin siya to the right side kasama yung isa pang constant na 720 degrees. And then, iwan lang natin yung 180n dahil may kasama siyang variable. Naging plus 360 siya dahil babaliktarin na natin yung sign. Pag nag-transpose tayo from one side to another, mababaliktad. So, from minus, naging plus na siya. Perform the operation. 180n is equal to 1080. This is the sum of 720 and 360. Divide both sides by 180. Cancel natin yung 180 dahil 180 divided by 180 is equal to 1. 1n, hindi na natin kailangan isulat yung numerical coefficient na 1 dito, kaya n na lang siya as is. 6 ay nakuha natin dito. 1080 divided by 180 is equal to 6. So, kung ang ating n ay 6, therefore, the number of sides of this unknown regular polygon is 6. And the polygon with a number of sides that is 6 is a hexagon. A hexagon is a polygon with 6 sides and this is how it looks like. Since alam na natin yung number of sides, alam na natin kung anong specific polygon yung ating hinahanap, pwede na natin kunin yung kanyang sum of exterior angles which is 360 degrees. 360 degrees is a constant for whatever polygon regardless of its number of sides. Ito yung kanyang formula. If we replace n with 6 which is the number of sides of a hexagon, and then perform the operation, 360 talaga yung ating sum of exterior angles. Ang hinahanap natin dito for this word problem ay measure of one exterior angle and not the sum of it all. So for this hexagon, isa lamang yung hinahanap natin. For us to find the measure of one exterior angle, we have to divide 360 degrees by the number of its angle, which is 6. 360 divided by 6 is equal to 60 degrees. Therefore, one of its exterior angle for this regular hexagon is 60 degrees. Mga bata, this is our most straightforward way on how we can solve this word problem. However, since we know that an interior and an exterior angle has a relationship with one another, we can also solve this word problem this way. Alam na natin na hexagon siya. We know the number of sides, which is 6. Let's find the measure of one of its interior angle. 720 degrees, yung ating sum of all the interior angles as stated in our word problem, divided by 6, which is the number of sides or number of angles. 720 degrees divided by 6 is 120 degrees. Therefore, one of its interior angle is 120 degrees. And this is a regular polygon. Kaya lahat yan ay tago 120. Anim na 120 degrees yan. However, for this word problem, ang kailangan natin ay sukat ng isang exterior angle. Since exterior angle yung hinahanap natin at hindi interior angle, we know that an interior and exterior angle forms a linear pair, which is both supplemental and adjacent. Kaya naman, for us to find out the measure of one exterior angle, itong measure na exterior angle na ito, we need to equate it to 180 degrees. So, ito yung ating interior angle. Ito yung unknown variable natin. Transpose natin yung 120, positive, magiging negative 120. Iwan lang natin sa side na ito yung unknown variable and then perform the operation. X is equal to 60 degrees dahil 180 minus 120 is equal to 60. Therefore, ang ating exterior angle na ito, ang sukat niya ay 60. 60 plus 120 equals siya to 180 degrees. Let's have another example. Example number 4. What is the measure of one angle of a triangle if the other two measure 70 degrees each? Kung meron tayong triangle, we know that a triangle is a kind of polygon with 3 sides and 3 angles. Ito yung kanyang tatlong angle. Yung dalawang angle niya, ang sukat ay parehong 70 degrees each. Pero yung isang angle, yung missing angle ay unknown, hindi nabanggit yung sukat. We need to find the measure of this missing angle. From lesson 6, we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Papakita ko lamang yung solution kung paano naging 180 degrees yung sum of interior angles ng isang triangle. Ito yung ating formula for sum of interior angles. The difference of a number and 2 is multiplied to 180 degrees, where n is the number of sides and 2 and 180 are constants. So, substitute natin yung n ng 3, number of sides or number of angle of a triangle, which is 3. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. 1 multiplied to 180 ay 180 degrees. Kaya talagang 180 degrees ang sum of interior angles of a triangle. We will now find the measure of the missing interior angle. Alam natin na itong tatlong sukat ng mga angles ng isang triangle, it must be equal to 180 degrees. So if we add all them together, dapat 180 degrees yung ating result. 70 plus 70 plus x is equal to 180 degrees. Yan yung ating linear equation. Combine similar terms, 70 plus 70 is equal to 140. Drop down x, drop down din natin yung 180 degrees. Then, we'll have to transpose 140 degrees. From left side, ililipat natin siya sa right side. Pag tayo ay nagtatranspose, laging tandaan mga bata na magbabaliktad yung sign niya. So, from positive 140, magiging negative 140 na siya. Kaya instead of adding, since dilipat natin siya ng pwesto from left to right, magiging minus na siya. And then, yung xi, drop down lamang natin. And then, perform the operation. X is equal to 40 degrees dahil 180 minus 140 is equal to 40 degrees. Kaya naman itong ating missing angle ay 40 degrees. And if we add all of them together, 70 plus 70 plus 40, ang ating sagot ay 180 degrees. Given the same triangle, if one side measures 5 cm and the other measures 3 cm, what must be the length of the other side? And then which kind of a triangle is described? For this word problem, meron tayong dalawang questions. Una, ang hinahanap naman natin ay yung missing side, length of the missing side, at yung pangalawa ay classification of a triangle. According to the word problem, one side measures 5 centimeters and the other side measures 3 centimeters. What is the measure of the missing side? Kung mapapansin natin dito sa triangle na ito, two angles are equal. Pareho siyang 70 degrees, itong dalawang angle na ito. Therefore, it must mean that these sides are also equal since pareho lang yung sukat ng kanyang angle. Kaya naman, kung ito ay 5 cm, since equal yung kanilang sides, this must also measure 5 cm. Yung magiging sukat ng ating missing length ng ating side ay 5 cm din. And if a triangle has two sides that are equal, this is an isosceles triangle. Because an isosceles triangle is a classification of a triangle according to its sides, wherein two sides of the triangle are congruent to each other or magkapareho. Let's have another example. Example number 5. Solve for the value of x if the other angles measure x plus 8 degrees, 3x minus 40 degrees, and 87 degrees respectively. Which kind of quadrilateral is described? For this word problem, dalawa yung hinihingi. Yung value ng x ng quadrilateral, yung missing angle, and which kind of quadrilateral, classification of a quadrilateral. Pagsimula muna tayo sa angles. If this is our quadrilateral, we know that a quadrilateral has 4 sides and 4 angles as well. Ito yung kanyang 4 na angles. One of the angles measure x plus 8 degrees. Yung isa ay 3x minus 40 degrees at yung isa ay 87 degrees. Hahanapin natin yung sukat ng ating missing angle. For us to find the measure of one interior angle, dapat alam natin yung sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral, which is 360 degrees. Ito yung computation. Formula natin for sum of interior angles, the difference of a number and 2 multiplied to 180 degrees, where n is the number of sides or angle, 2 and 180 ay constants. Substitute n with 4, the number of sides or angles, minus 2. 4 minus 2 is equal to 2 multiplied to 180, ang sagot ay 360 degrees. Let's now find the measure of one interior angle, yung ating missing angle na x. Alam natin na dapat itong mga angles na ito, itong mga individual angles na ito, if we add all them together, it must be equal to 360 degrees dahil ito yung sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral. Kaya, we will be forming a linear equation just like this. Combine the similar terms. 5x plus 55 is equal to 360. 5x ay galing sa x plus 3x plus x, kaya 5x. Add them together. 55 ay galing sa 8 plus negative 40 plus 87. If we combine the constants together, we'll be able to get 55 and then bring down 360. Transpose natin yung 55 sa right side. Bring down 5x. 360 degrees, bring down lang natin. Naging minus 55 na ito instead of plus 55 kasi pag nagtatranspose tayo, mababaliktad yung sign. So from positive, naging negative. From plus sign, naging minus sign. Perform the operation. 5x, drop down lang natin. 360 minus 55 is equal to 305. Divide both sides by 5. Ito yung numerical coefficient nitong ating 5x. Ang ating magiging sagot ay 61. 5x divided by 5 is equal to x. 305 divided by 5 is equal to 61. Therefore, itong ating missing angle na x, ang sukat niya ay 61 degrees. Now that we know the value of x, let's substitute the value of x for the other two. Sa x plus 8, substituting x with 61, 61 plus 8, it's equal to 69. Therefore, itong ating x plus 8 degrees ay katumbas ng 69 degrees. Substitute din natin yung value ng x dito sa isa pa nating expression. 3x minus 40 degrees. Yung x ay substitute natin by 6. 3 multiplied by 6 minus 40. Yan ay magiging 183 minus 40. Ang sagot ay 143. Kaya naman itong ating 3x minus 40 degrees ay may katumbas na 143 degrees. Adding them together, now that we have the value for x, 61 plus 69 plus 143 plus 87 degrees, it will all sum up to 360 degrees, which is the sum of the measure of the interior angles for any quadrilateral. Meron na tayong sagot dito sa value of x. Which kind of quadrilateral is described? This is a trapezium. Because a trapezium is a classification of a quadrilateral with no equal sides. No equal sides meaning no equal angles as well. Last example, example number 6. If the sum of all the sides of a regular heptagon measure 133 centimeters, what is the measure of one of its sides? And how many diagonals does it have? For this word problem, dalawa ulit yung hinahanap dito. Una ay yung measure of the individual side at diagonal. Unahin muna nating hanapin yung individual side. Nabanggit na ito ay isang regular heptagon. A heptagon is a polygon with 7 sides. Para makuha natin yung measure of one side, we have to divide 133 by 7. 133 divided by 7 is equal to 19. Therefore, all of its sides measure 19 centimeters. Itong pitong sides ng heptagon na ito, since regular heptagon ito, yung sides niya ay may equal measurement, 19 centimeters each yung kanilang sukat. Next, we'll have to find out the number of diagonals for this regular heptagon. For us to find out the number of diagonals for a polygon, this is the formula that we'll have to use. n minus 3, yung result nito ay multiply natin sa n and then divide natin by 2, where n is the number of sides. Substitute natin, yung n ng 7 dahil ang heptagon ay may 7 sides. And then perform natin yung operation. 28 ay nakuha rito. 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. 4 multiplied to 7 ay 28. 28 divided by 2, ang sagot natin ay 14. Therefore, this heptagon must have 14 diagonals. Kaya drawing natin yung mga diagonals from one vertex to another. Alam natin na ang mga diagonals ay lines connecting non-consecutive points, meaning hindi magkasunod. So, itong vertex na ito, connect natin dito to this vertex. Hindi pwede dito kasi hindi siya diagonal, side siya. Pag kinonect natin itong 2 points, diagonal na. So, aside from that, ito rin ay diagonal at ito rin. So, huwag tayong malilito mga bata kapag hinahanap natin yung number of diagonals at saka number of triangles. Kapag number of diagonals, lahat ng mga vertex ay kailangan nating lagyan ng diagonal. Pero kapag ang hinahanap ay number of triangles lamang, from one vertex, sa dami ng vertex nito, meron tayong 7 vertex per heptagon. Pipili ka lang ng isang vertex niya. Tapos, from that one specific vertex, tsaka ka lang mag-drawing ng diagonal. Hindi mo na kailangang i-drawing yung diagonal ng lahat kapag ang hinahanap mo ay number of triangles. Kaya for this heptagon, meron tayong 5 triangles. Pero for this word problem, ang hinahanap natin ay number of diagonals and not the number of triangles. Kaya we'll have to draw diagonals from each of the vertex. So, tapos na tayo mag-drawing ng diagonals from this vertex. Punta naman tayo dito sa sumunod na vertex. Ito yung ating diagonal from this point to the other point. Ganon din ito, at ito. So, all in all, meron na tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 diagonals. 14 yung ating mapuform. One thing that we need to take note of kapag tayo ay magdodrawing ng diagonals ay hindi ito dapat na maulit. Say for example, dito na tayo sa vertex na ito. Meron na tayong diagonal na na-drawing from this vertex up to this vertex. So, hindi na tayo kailangan pa mag-drawing ng diagonal from this point to another. Magpo-proceed na tayo sa sumunod pa. So, ito na yun. Yung ating diagonal na sumunod. Aside from that, ito rin at ito. Next vertex tayo dito. So, meron na siyang diagonal connecting these points. At ito rin, may diagonal na siya dito. So, ang i-connect natin from this point tayo itong diagonal nila ito. At isa pa. Next tayo, kung mapapansin natin, meron na siyang diagonal from this point. Meron na rin ditong diagonal. At meron na rin dito, so hindi na natin uulitin. Ang wala na lang sa kanyang diagonal ay ito. For this vertex, lahat ay nalagyan na. Ganun din itong vertex na ito, so hindi na natin kailangan ulitin pa. All in all, meron tayong 14 diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 diagonals for heptagon. And that's it for our video for today mga bata. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, ang Teacher Mo sa Math, for more grade 7 mathematics content. Turn on the notification bell para updated kayo kapag may bago na tayong lesson na i-upload. You can also comment. Feel free to comment and share your opinions and ideas. You can also ask some questions. At syempre, don't forget to like and share this video para mas marami pa akong mga tulad mo grade 7 na bata ang maabot at maturuan. Dahil ako si Ma'am Regine, ang teacher mo sa math.